To kick off how important this day is to education, I'm going to invite Ryan Walters, our Secretary of Education, to start the ceremony. Ryan?
Thank you, Saxon. You know, Oklahoma education is one of the most important investments we can make for our state. So what we see today is the opportunity that many children across the state are now going to receive, and that is to have aeronautics, aviation education directly in their schools. This is an incredible moment for Oklahoma education. We've got young people from all over the state here who have thought about what they want to be when they grow up and thought about what the path there looks like, and now that's going to be made available to them right in their local public schools. So I want to thank the Aeronautics Commission in the state of Oklahoma. They did a tremendous job working with Senator Zach Taylor to get this legislation across the finish line. And what we've seen again is partnering school districts who have worked with business to provide more of an opportunity for our young people. So this is what we're going to continue to see in Oklahoma, is more advancement in education to ensure that we're top 10 in education so that every young person can have an opportunity at success. So now I'm going to turn it over to the Director of Aeronautics, Grayson Ardis.
Thank you, Secretary Walters. By golly, it is a great day for aviation aerospace, August 19th, day to celebrate aviation aerospace and our state statute, and what better place to be than right here with this great view. I mean, I remember back in the 90s when I was a kid growing up, we came up to the mezzanine, to the observation deck, and got to see airplanes, and maybe that's where I got inspired to be a part of aviation. We have a great heritage and history in this industry in Oklahoma, from Wiley Post to Pearl Carter Scott to Bessie Coleman and others, Tom Stafford, some of us that are living with us today. But aviation aerospace is important to the state. Why? Why is this industry so important? Well, I might be a little biased, but I think it's pretty darn cool, right, kids? I mean, this is a pretty exciting industry to be a part of. I grew up, had a picture of my grandparents' fridge from when I was 18 months old, sitting in the shade of a B-52 over that direction at the air show at the Mike Monroney Aeronautical Campus. But why do we do this? Why do we do this as a state? We do it because this is helping diversify Oklahoma's economy. We know aviation aerospace can help smooth out that boom and bust cycle of Oklahoma. We know aviation aerospace is rich in our heritage here in Oklahoma. We are the MRO capital of the world. We maintain and repair and overhaul aircraft better than anywhere in the world. That quote, that famous quote, it applies here. For once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and there you have longed to return. And that truly is the essence of aviation aerospace. We are all enamored with flight, whether we've been a pilot, whether we've been on a commercial airplane, whether we've been on a general aviation flight, or whether we're just involved in the aviation aerospace industry. It's also about supporting our country's defenses. I'm going to throw out a date there, April 15th, 1953. No, that wasn't just when our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents were paying taxes and filing their taxes. That was the last day that we lost a soldier, a United States soldier, from an enemy air attack. We have ruled the skies since 1953, and we have not lost a single person on the ground because of an enemy air attack. We must use the talent that we have up here today to be able to make sure that we can continue that success for years and years to come. But most importantly, this is about providing opportunities for the kids to go have a great career. Tell your parents, average salary of an aviation aerospace worker, $73,300 a year. Great paying jobs, really good paying jobs, and again, pretty cool jobs, pretty neat jobs. So it's my pleasure to introduce Senator Zach Taylor, who is a pilot from District 28 in Seminole, has a V-tail Bonanza, loves aviation, uses the system here in Oklahoma. Senator Taylor.
Thank you, Director Ardis. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon. I'm excited for what this means for Oklahoma. Excited to be here with you. So Senate Bill 1147, that's what we're all here for. That came from a lunch that I had with Paula and Sandra in Seminole, Oklahoma. And the reason that I called and talked to them and asked them to come to Seminole and meet with me is I had met with the local superintendent in Seminole, where we have the aviation program, and he said, you know, the thing that's holding a lot of students back from enrolling in this program is the fact that I cannot tell them that it's a core curriculum credit. It's only an elective credit. So that eliminates a lot of my kids from being able to participate, because then they have to choose between sports or band or arts. They've got to make a choice between all of those things or aviation. So it prevents so many students from participating. So I said, well, let me get to work on it. And that's what I did. We had that lunch, we talked through it. It's something that they had already tried to work on. So I filed a bill, Senate Bill 1147, and here we are today. We made it through both chambers, and the governor of the great state of Oklahoma signed it. As far as we know, we are the first state in the nation to look at making the aviation AOPA programs core curriculum credit. And it only makes sense. Thank you. It only makes sense that it's a core curriculum credit. It's very heavy on science. There's a lot of math involved as well. So it only makes sense that it's core curriculum credit. And for the state of Oklahoma, it only makes sense that we continue to expand these programs and fill the pipeline for one of the biggest industries in our state. It made sense. For once in my career in the legislature, we did something that truly made sense for the state of Oklahoma, truly made sense for education in Oklahoma, and it just made sense all around. You know, I'm tongue-in-cheek. I didn't mean it that way. We do some great things, but this is a great bill. As many of you know, I chose not to seek re-election. I'm very proud of this legislation as I leave office. I'm proud of what it means for Oklahoma, proud of what it means for education. So now it's my great pleasure to introduce to you the governor of the great state of Oklahoma, 28th governor of the state of Oklahoma. Little tidbit, his parents were once my constituents in Maud, Oklahoma, in District 28. I was proud to represent them, but it's my pleasure to introduce to you Governor Kevin Stitt.
Man, it's such a great day here. This is what it's all about. And you guys are welcome for getting y'all out of school today. So you're welcome. Just want to throw that out there. I know my kids would be pumped if they got out of school for a day. But it's really an honor. I mean, with the passing of Senate Bill 1147, Oklahoma students can now take Aviation 1 and 2. And, you know, just big picture, isn't this what we're here to do, is to get these young people into pathways and careers that are going to be fantastic for them. And if they want to be pilots or if they want to be A&P mechanics, I can't think of a better thing to do than to introduce that at a young age. So I met some 8th graders here, some 9th graders, some juniors, sophomores, seniors, and so just really, really proud of you guys for digging in and learning and just expanding your horizon and what's possible. And I'll talk about that a little bit, but Senator Taylor has been a fantastic representative and champion of education, and we're going to miss you at the Capitol. So he did a great job of getting this across the finish line. And then Grayson Arties, thank you so much for your leadership. Appreciate that. And then our Secretary of Education, I can't say enough great things about Ryan Walters, public school teacher from rural Oklahoma. He's serving the state, focused on doing what's best for parents and kids. And so thank you for your leadership there. You know, Oklahoma has a very, very rich history in aviation. When you think about aviation, it's such an important part of our economy. And I want to tell the young people here, it's the fastest growing industry in Oklahoma. It's the second largest industry in our state. Tinker Air Force Base is kind of the hub. There's 30,000 employees at Tinker Air Force Base. They keep all of the Air Force's fleet flying. So it's the maintenance and repair facility for the entire Air Force, the largest in the world. FAA, the Mike Maroney complex is located here in Oklahoma City. They have 7,500 employees, high-paying jobs. We're so fortunate to have that here in Oklahoma City. Tulsa has American Airlines. There's 5,000 employees up there. And one thing to tell you guys, the American Airlines executives always want me to remind high school kids that a starting salary at American Airlines for an A&P mechanic is over $70,000 a year. And within 5 years, you're making over $100,000 a year as an A&P mechanic. And then the aviation and defense industry, they want me to remind young people to get your security clearance, which will take another 12 to 18 months. If you get your security clearance and an A&P mechanic, you just name your ticket, because every aviation and defense working on special top secret stuff at Tinker, really classified cool stuff, you need that ticket. So encourage you to kind of focus on that as well. We've got great universities that are focused here on aviation. University of Tulsa, cybersecurity. They're one of the leaders in the entire country there. Oklahoma State's Aerospace Institute for Research and Education is one of the top in the country. And then OU's College of Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering in Norman is leading the way as well. But, you know, I'm so proud Oklahoma ranks #1 in the nation for high schools teaching the AOPA curriculum, which is the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association. We're trying to get that all across our state, and we're #1 in the nation right now on that. Just this month, 56 organizations were awarded aerospace aviation education program grants. It was a total of about 450,000 people, and that was from the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission. I see some of the board members here. Thank you for being here, guys. This is huge for our state and speaks volume for how we're working to give students access to aviation and aerospace at a really young age, like we talked about earlier. I think that's so important. You know, I personally, like Zach, I'm a pilot as well, and learned how to fly when I was in high school at Norman High School. So I was 16 and still remember flying there at Westheimer Airport. The first time you take off in a Cessna 150 in solo, you know, you guys have heard of soloing. I remember 16 years old, and I remember pulling back and taking off, and I'm like, well, there's no turning back now. I'm gonna have to figure out how to land this thing. But you're well prepared. Your instructors teach you that, and that's the thing with life is get mentors and a vision for your future and what you want to be, and then find the pathways to get there. And it's not, you can be a heart surgeon, or you can be an airline pilot or a mechanic or whatever, and it just takes simple steps to get there. And so take some of the mystery out of it. You get to do anything you set your mind to do. But you really have a very, very bright future in aviation. I can't say enough great things about it. But when students graduate from high school, they really should be college ready or career ready. And that's my goal. I know that's Secretary Walters' goal, is let's get kids college ready or career ready time they get out of high school. So Oklahoma is dedicated to the mission of creating more pilots, and I'm proud to sign this bill today as part of the force driving the state's investments in students, supporting them to becoming aviators, engineers, mechanics, astronauts. We've got more astronauts, by the way, than any other state as well. So Oklahoma outpunches our weight all across the board. Y'all heard me say top 10 state before? Okay. There's no better place to pursue a career in aerospace and aviation than right here in the great state of Oklahoma. So thank you guys so much for coming here today with us, and you're welcome for me getting you out of school. So.
Guys, do you want to fill in on either side of them, like half of you on the left, half on the right, this group over here on the left?
Half of us over here, then half over there.
Guys, future governor right here. Busy? There you go. Boom.
What's box? You do it. How did you move it? Did you just move it? Oh. I don't know
I'm gonna get out of here so I can get
how. Do it. I just wanted to. Oh,
this
I'm
off,
sorry, guys.
sorry.
Yeah,
No, we were
you're good.
like-
I don't want to screw up y'all's equipment. That's why I asked him. I was like,
Oh my gosh,
how do I
no.
move this and not screw up all their stuff?